The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everybody, today. I hope that your day is flowing smoothly, and we're so excited to have you join us. We're going to be focused on discover how to keep balance in your life while moving your purpose forward. And this subject's really important to me because you are important, not only to me, but to everyone in your life. You are the only you that we get to have in our life. And so my commitment to you, and some of what I hope you get out of our call today, out of our show today, is the opportunity to be able to step into you in a little bit bigger way, in a little bit shinier way. And one of the subjects that we're going to be talking about today is money. And I find this is such a charged topic for so many people. And it's because it's something that isn't always taught in our society. We don't always know how to interact with it. It's not necessarily something that's polite conversation to talk about. And so we talk about it in sometimes a stressful way, or we find there's not enough money at the end of the month, or there's more month than we have the funds for. And sometimes we end up with more than month. And so how do we really reconnect to that money to have it work with us and for us so we can show up in a brighter, shinier way and actually have it supporting us rather than holding us back in some fashion? And so my guest today that I'm really excited to be sharing with all of you is the amazing Brandy Jones. Brandy, welcome to our show today.
Good morning, Rebecca.
And Brandy is the founder of End the Red. And she's an author, a speaker, a workshop leader, and she really has this amazing heart to help people from the youth up really end the red in their life and be connected with money and actually have it help them start to cross things off their bucket list. And she's been able to do that in her life, where at one point she was really struggling with debt and was able to, as a single mom, and had to learn how to negotiate with creditors and really step forward in a powerful way. And she's very, very excited to be able to share some of her wisdom today. Our second guest, Christine Miura, is a marketing and communication specialist, as well as an author. She has a new book coming out, and she is really committed to helping people have sales conversions so that they can move their business and their message forward. So we have great guests that are joining us, really committed to helping you bring your best self forward in a bigger way. So Christine, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. And guests, and listeners, I always consider you my guests as well. I picture so often that we have all entered into a room together and that we're all connected and able to experience the next show together during the next hour, really connecting on a deep level. And I just always picture that when the show starts and we're looking at connecting and helping you move forward. I always picture all of us in the room together, either in a workshop type of format or an auditorium, just depending on how the size of the group feels that day. So I welcome you to the show. and to this wonderful experience you will have with my amazing guest today. But I wanted to walk you through a few logistics before we get too deep into the show. One, if you want to send messages to us, this show is actually a pre-recorded show because either I might have jury duty, so we'll find out, or I'm going to be traveling during one of the shows. And so Christine and Brandy were so gracious to say, yeah, we'll be a part of that call. And so normally you would be able to interact with us live on the show, which we love. But since this is a pre-recording that you're listening to, we still want to hear from you. We just can't take the calls live. So if you are listening to this, which I hope you are, and I hope it's serving you, please send us a message. You can either say, you can send a message to the host. You'll find it on the webpage where you're listening to this recording. Down below the banner in the middle of the page, you're going to see follow us on Facebook, which of course we love, Twitter, we're now on iTunes. Right below that, it'll say send a message to the host. That's where you can click and it will actually send me an email about a comment or a message or an aha moment that you had, and I will incorporate as many of those as I can into our next show. We love hearing from you, and I want this show to serve you. That's my heart, and that's why it's been created, is to really encourage you on your journey, that you can live your life on purpose and with purpose and bring forth all that you're called to share with the world. The other thing that's really exciting about our show is that we have free gifts. Right, guests?
Yes, of course.
And these free gifts, you'll actually find on a link. If you scroll over to the right-hand side of that same page, you're going to see this yellow-orange wording that says show links, and it says free show gifts. That's what you'll click on. It'll open up a window that you give us your name and your email address so we can communicate with you. And then you can select one of the amazing gifts that we'll be describing as we go throughout our show today. You also will see gifts from some of our past guests. So really make time in your schedule to scroll through some of those opportunities and select the ones that would be of service to you. We really want to bring great resources to you to support you on your journey. Another way you can access those free gifts is if you go to my personal website, my business website, which is www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and click the radio show tab. Up in the left-hand corner, you will see, I want to learn more about my gifts. And it's a green rectangle that you can circle on, and it'll open up that same window. So we really want to make sure those resources get into your hands. Now let's focus back in on talking about money and talking about you and your brand. And what I would invite you to do whenever money comes up, it can be kind of this charged thing, as well as when we're talking about you and bringing you up and having you step forward in a bigger way. That can feel a little bit scary, a little bit vulnerable. We can have some discomfort when we talk about money. So what I want to invite you to do, if you're not driving, no driving, you have to pretend or imagine you're doing some of these things, but I want to make sure you're safe, your hands are on the wheel, your eyes are open. But for those of you who are not driving, I invite you to stand and kind of ground yourself. Picture some of that stuff that's maybe coming up when I say the word money, or I sharing who you are in a bigger way, some of those nerves or things that come up, and invite them just to drain as you're breathing out down into the ground and really feel supported by the floor, by the earth that you're standing on. And breathe that in. Take one more breath. And now that we've released some of that, I invite you actually to put your hands on your heart and ask yourself this question as I'm asking you. Money can mean different things to different people. And our relationship with it can sometimes feel connected, strained, or disconnected. once in a while there's excitement. And I just want you to ask the question, what's important about money to you? And as you're exploring that, what is important about it? If it's not important to you, then what is? And just see what comes up. And then creating this awareness is so important because we deal with money every day. And I really encourage and invite you to find ways to have it reconnect, be in a more positive relationship with you. Because I don't want you to have something in your life every day that creates a stress or strain on you, because that's going to hold you back. Breathe that in. And with that frame, ask yourself, what is it I need today to encourage me in that area? Is it support, encouragement, excitement, information, direction, knowing where to start? What is it that you need that would really help you feel more powerful or connected when we start looking at money? And what I'm going to invite my guests to do, and what I want to invite you, the listeners, to do, is to really see what word or phrase comes up. You don't necessarily have to share it with anyone, but really having that awareness yourself is really, really important, because if you know what you need, if you know what you're looking for, it gives you clarity, it gives you direction, and you get to move forward. When we don't pause and ask those questions, we're just kind of hoping it all works out and that what we need comes forward. I want you to be able to be proactive in your life and really be on the lookout for what you need. And today, we're hoping to be able to help you move forward in that a little bit more. Our goal and our intention is to bring you some of what you need, particularly in this area. So I'm going to actually go around our studio here and ask my guests if they would mind sharing what comes to your mind that is on your mind to share, or what you want to see, or what is a word that came forward in your heart when we went through that exercise. Brandy, do you have something you'd like to share?
I do. When we went through the exercise, it's being honest and to be open about where you are in your situation right now.
Good.
And I find that when you're open, then that allows new things to come in, new ways of being. So being honest and open.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. How about you, Christine?
I was thinking that I actually need to know how I'm spending my money, how I'm being accountable for every dollar I'm spending and where I'm spending it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you. And I had a couple things come up for me, and they were, I think it's so brave to be willing to be honest. That just came up as you were sharing that, Brandy. And that awareness, Christine, is so, so important. But I think it's really takes courage and being brave to be willing to look, particularly in this area that we can be so sensitive about and have a lot of judgment. And so that's the other thing that came up, that I really invite you to leave the judgment outside the space that you're in right now. There's no room for that right now. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. It's really, where are we at, and how can we either keep moving or start moving or move forward in a bigger way, in ways that will serve us when we're looking at our money. So any information or ideas or suggestions you're hearing today, it's really coming from that place of service. It's never from a place of criticism or why aren't you doing something, or you shouldn't be doing it that way. Like, that's not even in our heads and hearts, right, guests?
Right.
It's really this amazing space of support that you're willing to have this conversation with us, and that we are able to support and help you in some way in this arena. So we're really, really honored to be here with you, to be supporting you in this way. And what I would like us to do, I'm just sitting here for a moment thinking, because I love this subject. So you may hear that as we go through our time together today. I have a lot of passion around it, and it's because it's a charged area that I find so frequently can keep people disempowered or not able to move forward in the way they're called. And so my joy and excitement, I don't know if I would call it joy, but my passion in really bringing forward people to support you in this area is because I think it's something we aren't in our society having enough conversations about. And I know that today's call and the information we're providing you is going to be of such amazing service for you. So breathe that in, feel supported, know that you're safe, and we are really here with our honest, open hearts, wanting to bring awareness and support to you in all that you're doing. So when we come back, we're going to be digging into this subject of money a little bit deeper. So during our commercial break here, I really invite you to be clicking those links, checking out the free gifts, sending us a message, and really listening to your heart about what you need to move forward in a more powerful way. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
Want more positivity in your life? Are you ready to get healthy, happy, and energized? Join the Stella Donna Goddess Gals, Cynthia Bryan and Heather Brittany, for a power hour of stimulating, supportive conversation on Star Style. Be the star you are. A lineup of best-selling authors, celebrities, and experts. Join the effervescent mother-daughter dynamic duo in this upbeat, positive, life-changing talk radio playground. Star Style. Be the star you are. Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Lend us your ears. It's power time.
You may know how to make money, but do you know how to manage it and make it work for you? That's where the Financial You radio show comes in. Host Annette Rayner and her guests will show you how to keep your financial future in check. Money matters in just about every part of your life. Doesn't matter if you work for a Fortune 500 company or the neighborhood store. Your financial goals can be realized. Listen for The Financial You every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, because your money matters.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your break, that you got a chance to check out those amazing gifts and links. But I do want to not have you distracted during this next segment. That's something that can happen when we start talking about something that can be as charged as money. We look for distractions. So step away from those free gifts right now or things that might be pulling at you a little bit. And let's reground and focus as I bring our first guest forward. So, Brandy, I want to officially welcome you to the show. And I know your heart and passion as the founder of End the Red is to really end this red zone we can so frequently live in with debt and creditors and people calling and all of that pressure where it's really running you versus you being able to change the equation and really build the life that you want that supports you, that you're actually getting to cross things off your bucket list. And I know that's a passion of yours. I know you have stepped into that space. And I would love for you to share with our listeners today your why this work is so important to you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Having been in the struggling situation of my own finances in the past, I believe that when we're having financial problems, we think we're the only ones going through this problem. And myself, I tended to hide in silence with the insecurity, shame, guilt, and all the other emotions we carried around on top of my financial struggles. And then I also know that we pass that on from generation to generation, teaching everybody else around us to struggle just like we are. Mm. So what I've learned was if we can be more honest and open and face our problems head on, then we become stable people. We are more emotional secure in ourselves and trust ourselves more.
Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I know this is a personal journey that you have gone on, and you tell it so beautifully in relation to a $5 story. Mm-hmm. Would you mind sharing your $5 story with us today?
Okay. Like you had said, I was a single mom, and that's raising one daughter. And money was, scarce. And your phrase, to go back to your phrase, I had always more months than I did money. So it's hard when you're raising a child or having someone depend upon you for finances. And it's in the heart when I could not go out to buy what my daughter wanted, not necessarily what she needed, but what she wanted sometimes. So I had to develop a system to always have money. And I developed the $5 system. And that means I don't spend my $5. I keep $5 and I save them. And from me saving the $5, that means I always have something. The $5 saving up matters because I mattered. And it kept me going. It kept me afloat. So I go from vacations. When I come home, I have my $5, and I usually have more money coming home than I used to have because of my $5 bill.
And why $5, not $10, not $20 in setting that aside? Why is that the denomination you chose?
Well, I used to say, I saved coins as well, and I used to save them more before I got into the $5 bills. But the bills, the dollar bills, are so easily, they're really readily available. Everyone carry a one. 10s and 20s were harder to come by because if I had a $10 bill or 20, I had to spend part of that. So my money would be going out my fingers. But the $5 bills, being in the banking industry as long as I've been, that was not a bill that would always be in the cash drawer. We only received that in from customers. Mm-hmm. So to get a $5 bill when I got change was rare. And I say, this is what I need to use. Something that is given to me, I can hold on to easily because I'm not always expecting to have a $5 bill. So I started playing with the $5 bills, and it's easy to count. So that's how I started with $5 bills. The rare of the money brought me to the saving $5 bills.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I know you have one more $5 story tied to your daughter and birthday. Do you mind sharing briefly a little bit about that moment? Do you know which moment I'm talking about?
Is it when we went to McDonald's?
Yes.
Again, my daughter, the life of my life, my heart. We went to McDonald's one time, and this is when she was young. And even though she was always aware, I made a practice that I shared the finances with her when it was time to pay bills, when it was time to count the money. She was right there with me. But being a child, she did not really grasp the value of the money. She just knew that this is what we have and when we didn't have enough. But for her birthday, she always liked McDonald's. And being a child, she always wanted the biggest thing on the item, at the store, at the McDonald's. And so Big Macs were her favorite. And all I had in my wallet was a $5. But, you know, it's her birthday. I wanted to share it with her. And I let her order it. She ordered a Big Mac. She ordered some fries, and she ordered a drink. And that took the $5. There might have been some change left, but it was not enough for me to have any. And she says, well, Mama, what are you going to eat? And I had to tell my daughter that I was not hungry so that she could have her little birthday celebration. We did, you know, she's a generous little girl. She shared it, so I ate a couple of her fries so that she wouldn't feel all by herself in her celebration. But that also came to help me to realize that every moment and every $5 bill I get is a precious one because it started there. I spent $5 to bring joy to my daughter. So $5 now matters, and I save it because I matter.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And Brandy, I so appreciate your transparency and your heart in this. And what I want to share with listeners is from that, Brandy was able to not only always have those conversations with her daughter, but her daughter is financially, stable, doing really well, has a great relationship with her money and building her life. And Brandy has been able to achieve that as well and has been able to cross things off her bucket list and now has a really hands-on approach, step by step, that she helps people from $5 up really build their life in a way that serves them. And I value and appreciate that. We are getting ready to go to commercial break. So when we come back, what I would like to do, Brandy, is I'd love to have you share a little bit about your free gift, and then we will go to introducing our next guest. So make sure during this commercial break that you're taking a moment, you're regrounding. Go ahead and check out those links. We love hearing from you, and we'll talk to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Have you ever thought about owning your own business? Are you interested in making more money? Are you interested in becoming focused and super productive? Mark your calendar every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and 11 a.m. Central Time to listen and learn from America's business expert Bill Walsh on The Rainmaker Show. Bill will share the untold secrets to launch and build a successful company in today's challenging economy. We will also have top success experts and giveaways every week. Tune in to the Voice America Empowerment Channel to create success on your terms. Have you figured out what's not working in your business and why? Could you use a little help? Join your host Tamaran for Let's Figure It Out Intimately. Tamaran was struggling with the same issue, so she hired other business coaches and experts to help her see what she couldn't. Her journey is to keep learning, and she is here to share this with you so that we can all keep working together. Let's Figure It Out Intimately. Airs live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Master your reality and manifest your desires effortlessly. Listen to The Trivedi Effect to find out how raising your level of consciousness can totally transform every aspect of your life. Hosted by Mahendra Kumar Trivedi with Trivedi Master Alice Branton. Our program will spotlight the nearly 4,000 documented scientific studies that have proven the transformational impact of this energy extends beyond humans to all living and even non-living matter. Tune in Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel or Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America 7th Wave Channel.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that break. And as I promised, I wanted to give Brandy an opportunity to share about her amazing gift that she's making available to you. Brandy, would you share?
Yes. My gift is a free ebook. And the name of the ebook, the title of the ebook is 3 Keys to Breaking the Debt Cycle. Its first is budget. And budget is where you write down everything, income and expenses. You know where you are and where you want to go. Then you have your savings. And savings take small steps and start with a small goal. Have an idea of what you need the money for before you put it away. Treat it as extra money. That's there when you least expect it to be. And then the last area is credit. Credit is knowing the value of your credit so you're not caught off guard when you go to make a big purchase. And building a credit score takes control of your credit score, gives you the control over your life. So
Great.
I hope I invite everyone to just look for the ebook. 3 keys to building. 3 keys to breaking the debt cycle.
Perfect. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it, and I want to thank you for making that available to all of our guests.
You're welcome.
And then I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. I know we started our conversation and we were talking about money and how it can support you, and now I want to dial in deeper in a little different direction and make it even more personal, if I can. And it's really about you, bringing your message forward, who you are, how you're called to impact the world and shine in the world, and what image are you sending out there? How are people learning about you? How can they interact with you? How can they really know who you are and what you're called to do? And so I'd like us all to just for a moment focus in again, and here's another question. What message, if you just had one message in 10 seconds, in 15 seconds, that you could share with the world, you had one opportunity, And this isn't to add pressure and to have people freeze. It's really to focus in for a moment. Gosh, if I had that moment, if I had that opportunity, what is it that I would want to share with the world? What is the message? What is my heart's desire in that? And I just ask you to sit for a moment, put your hands on your heart, breathe that in, and see what comes up. If there's a word, if there's a phrase. And Christine, I would love if you had something that came to your heart and mind you'd like to share.
Well, that I am actually the messenger for others, that I help them bring their message to the world. And that's framed in, their business or, their purpose on the planet. I help uncover what that is, and then I help people be able to communicate that and broadcast that to the world.
Great. Thank you. And listeners, just hear the power and the conviction in that, like clarity. This is what I'm here to do. And we can hear it in a different way. And having that clarity really helps, Christine, not to put words in your mouth, but it gives you purpose and direction and helps you know what to say or yes and no to in your life. Would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, I think after the death of my husband, it was very clear to me that I was put on this planet to help people, especially in the healing arts, whether my clients are, chiropractors and naturopaths and healers and people that counsel others and coach. And their business is framed in the invisible, meaning that much of how they work in the world is from the invisible side of living, which is the connection to themselves and their spirit. But they don't necessarily know how to speak it in this physical world. And I was, as my husband was in transition, I was told that was what I was supposed to do. I've always been in marketing since the age of 23, and, not quite the corporate world, but not, so off the path that it didn't make sense. And so I've always been living in that space of deeper healing than Western healing. So I guess I should say Eastern healing. And because I'm Chinese, I was brought up in a different way of looking at the world. So with his passing, that message came out really clear. And the more I ignored it, the more universe and source brought me to that place and kept saying, nope, this is your purpose. This is your purpose. Mm-hmm. And the message just got louder and louder until one day I met you, Rebecca, and you showed me, yes, this really is your purpose. And when you accept that, then all magical things happen. And that's sort of what's happened.
Thank you. Thank you. And absolutely, Christine, you are correct. It is your purpose. It's what you're called to do. And I love seeing it unfold and the way that you're blossoming. You have a book coming out, right?
Yes. Actually, the book is being released next week. It is Faith Beneath Our Wings. Mm-hmm. And it's by Thrive Publishing, and we'll be launching that next week. So I'm really excited. There's, I think, 20 co-authors in the book, and we all talked about how faith has informed our life.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And we'll be watching for that, absolutely. So congratulations on your forthcoming book. And let me just back up for a moment. I want to do a more formal introduction, but I just love getting into the conversation. So Christine Miura is a good friend of mine, and I love her heart and her passion. She has this amazing analytical mind. Like, she can see sales funnels and different ways you can make social media work for you, and has just an amazing depth of complex experience and resources that she can bring to you, but she doesn't make you have to understand all of that. And she boils it down, has an amazing warm heart, and really wants to see, is this going to serve you? How can we do this so people get you and really understand your message, your passion with clarity, want to interact with you, and move forward in a powerful way. So I really, really appreciate that about you. Just a beautiful, beautiful combination.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then you've shared some of your why this work's important to you and your heart in this. And kind of if you had one thing to share, what it would be. But what I'd also like to understand is, you mentioned coaches, that you work with a lot of coaches and leaders. Do you mind defining even a little bit deeper who it is you're called to work with?
I'm called to work with people who have they have a gift, and the gift is that they're informed by something greater than just this physical plane, and they walk through the world with this ability to see at the heart level and be able to bring people forward and, help them on a much greater level than just what we see here. It's really about a connection of heart and soul into the work that you do. So it leads them into an authentic path. I work with somebody who is a brain coach. She's a therapist studying about brain and neurology and how to, break through the blocks that we have and create new neural pathways. I work with somebody else who is a coach who loves doing retreats, but she also uses ritual inside her business to share with people about the sacred. I work with a musician who is an amazing teacher and has this deep passion for music that he's passing on to the next generation. I work with information marketers who are developing products and services that, speak from a place of abundance and collaboration and generosity. And by working with these types of people, I'm, serving and creating a shift in how we live our lives, take ourselves out of fear, and live in a place of love and compassion.
Wonderful. Thank you for giving us some examples. And listeners, I just want to point out, and Christine, this is something I just really appreciated about what you shared, is that you're not just sharing what they are, what they do, but you're also tying in their passion, how they're unique, and how they show up in the world. Like, those are just automatically connected for you. And there's a passion and juice and excitement in how you share. You care about your work. You care about the people you're representing and supporting. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, it is really important to me that the people that I work with have a greater vision than just money. Like, money is the result of the work that you do. And when you have an impact on your community or your family, by being generous and kind and loving, the money always follows. And that's how I help people frame their business to show up with their own brilliance to the world so that, they're rewarded by the gifts that they're giving. And that really is a criteria for me, that I work with people like that.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to that clarity and knowing why you're here. So I really, really appreciate that from you, and the power and love and passion that you have for the work that you do. And we're getting ready to go to commercial break. So when we come back, everyone, make sure you come back. You're going to learn about Christine's amazing gift. But make sure, meanwhile, that you're sending us a message, that you're checking out the gifts. You've already downloaded, hopefully, Brandy's gift. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Do you feel like sometimes you just don't know where to start with your health and fitness routine? Every week, you can hear from people who have been where you feel that you are right now and find out how they moved forward and are living their best lives ever. It's called Lifestyle 360, and your host is Nicole Monier. Get inspired to take control of your health and your life. Tune into Lifestyle 360 every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Do you or somebody you love have a struggle with abuse? You don't need to be a slave to your abuse anymore. Listen for Beyond Abuse, Beyond Therapy, Beyond Anything with Dr. Lisa Cooney. Dr. Lisa overcame struggles in her own life. 2 decades of sexual, emotional, and physical abuse nearly took their toll. In her 20s, she turned her life around and set upon a path to help others. She can help you find the key to take control of your life, too. Listen every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
We all want peace. We all desire a more meaningful life. We work hard to achieve these things, but at what avail? The key is authentic living with Andrea Matthews. Andrea will interview some of the great spiritual experts of today and will provide wisdom to help you raise your consciousness to the level of your own I am. Your authenticity can give you miraculous gifts, but you have to know how to get there. Listen for Authentic Living with Andrea Matthews. Heard live every Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time on the Seventh Wave Network.
Follow us on Twitter for more great ideas at Voice America Empowerment.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a good little stretch break, that you had an opportunity to check out those links, and I'm looking forward to receiving those messages from you. But as I promised, I wanted to make sure we gave Christine an opportunity to share about her wonderful, generous gift that she's making available to each and every one of you. Christine, would you share?
Sure. It is the 7 keys to powerful videos. And the conversation really lends itself to thinking about how to frame your video, not just from the standpoint of the length and the time, but really about, the thinking involved, what your messaging is speaking about, what you're using it for, making sure that you have calls to action. So it's a quick little checklist, but it will really help you develop your message so that it's clear and that you can be attracting people into your business by, populating it with the keywords that you want to be found for on the internet.
Thank you. And Christine, why video? Why is video important in our social media and in branding ourselves?
Well, social media gives you the opportunity to introduce yourself visually to somebody. So, if they connect with you, they know, like, and trust you by watching you on YouTube. And it also gives you the ability to get double credit in the sense that Google loves video, and they own YouTube. So when you put a video up, you also have this very physical media, but it also goes back and translates all the words that you're speaking so that they're indexed in Google, the search engine. So you get double credit in the sense of the word, and also be able to use those clips in different places on social media so they all link back to one place, and hopefully that's your website.
Wonderful. Thank you, Christine, for making that amazing gift available. And listeners, just what I want you to appreciate about how she explained her gift, which I absolutely encourage you to go download, explore how she's already showing you how to leverage. And this one thing, you get double credit for your words. This is how to make it work for you, how to get your message out there in a lot of different ways from one set of videos. And that's the sort of strategies and work that Christine can really support and help you with. So thank you for sharing and expanding on that a little bit, Christine. I so appreciate that.
Yes, my pleasure.
And then Brandy and Christine, as we're coming to the close of the show here, I wanted to give you an opportunity, if there's any last thing that was laid on your heart in 30 seconds to a minute that you could really share with our listeners, I wanted to give you the opportunity. So, Brandy, is there any additional insight or ahas or something on your heart that you're wanting to share?
Yes, it is. It is possible to have financial abundance regardless of where your circumstances lie. Just follow your heart and have an open mind.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Christine, how about you?
Yes.
Any additional thoughts?
It's about really being authentic in your living and your life and your work. That, when you're connected to all things that you're doing and you're aware, the level of happiness that you're serving, that just expands your being and your heart to others. And the one thing I've learned in my life and the lessons is about love and compassion and generosity. When those two things exist for me, my day is full, and I know that I'm on the planet doing the right thing.
Mm. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity to be on the show, Rebecca.
Absolutely. I'm really honored to have both of you on and to have both of you in my lives. It just makes everything really rich, and that's something, listeners, I really want to encourage you, especially when we're talking about things as charged as bringing who you are forward in a more powerful way, really tapping into your purpose, making sure that money is working with you, not against you, and is supporting and facilitating all that you're called to do and to really live a balanced and full life. Make sure you have community around you. People that you can call and celebrate with, that you can share with, that if you're having a hard day, can give you a hug, whether it's virtual or in person. Really build that purposely in your life, because that will help you stay balanced. That will help you stay on course with your passion. And they're going to encourage you, kind of be cheerleaders in your life to encourage you and celebrate with you as you keep stepping. Well, hopefully steeping too, but steeping in your purpose and stepping forward in a deeper and deeper and more powerful way in all that you're called to do. And what I want to remind you of, and what I really have laid on my heart, is some of what you've been hearing throughout the show today, that you matter. You make a difference. There is only one of you. You are the gift to us. There's not another person in reserve, another Rebecca, part two in the background there, if I don't step forward in the way I'm called to step forward. And if Christine and Brandy are waiting for their people in the background, well, that's part two. If I don't step forward in the way I'm called, they're going to step up and do it for me. And what happens if we stay back there, we don't step fully in how we're called, everyone around you misses out. We all miss out on your amazing gifts, your passion, what you can bring forward to each of us in our lives. And so I really, really want to encourage you to take a moment and refocus and really see, am I on purpose? That thing is, Christine was sharing how your purpose kept coming up to go away. That's the thing to listen to. Oh yeah, that's what I need to remember. That's what I'm called to step forward in. Yes, it is. It's not always this logical thing that we have the clear path laid out. It's this pull at our heart. It's this thing that we're called, in a sense, to step forward in. And then you figure out the how later. So really look for those pulls, listen to and feel the pull on your heart, the passion, what you're called to step forward into, and lean into it and really share the amazing person you are. You matter to me. You matter to every person in your life. You make a huge, huge difference. And what I really want to ask you to do this week is to be on the lookout for those heart pulls and to always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.